Let's get into Major League Baseball. Say hello to Props Network MLB specialist Michelle Neat. You can go around.
Hey.
You can go through. So the Dodgers, they're favored -200. Rays are +160. Is this the sort of series that you would do with a future, or would you bet it game to game?
I would go game to game because if you look at, I mean, you can look at the stats over the postseason as a whole, but you should really look at it like what has happened in this, like in the last however many games. So I would take like the ALCS and the NLCS as a good example of how things might go down, because, good Lord, there was one night where the Dodgers got blown out and then they didn't, and then Tampa lost 3 in a row, and it's super 2020 of the postseason.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, and baseball in particular, the public teams, they're juiced so much. There's never any value in betting on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They were favored in every game of the NLCS.
So you're just not winning anything, really. There's like pennies.
Yeah, I mean, you can bet them. Well, there's better odds. So I lost on my Dodgers bet last night. Mm-hmm. They were favored by 1.5.
Yeah.
So if they were to have covered, my $25 would have become $40.
All right.
Yeah. So it was good odds. +140, that's a decent payout.
Okay.
But -200 for the series, you can't do it. And I'm looking ahead to the game 1 line. So the starters are, we have got Kershaw going for LA. And shut up. And we've got Glasnow going for the Tampa Bay Rays. So if you were to take the Rays and they're underdogs by 1.5, you could bet $148 to win 100, or you could bet $100 on the Dodgers to win 123. And tell me if I'm wrong here. So just from the big narrative, I'm going to look at how I think the story will unfold, and I'll say the Dodgers, they need this. They have so much to prove, and they just want to bail out Kershaw with their bets tomorrow night. So that leads me to maybe want to back the Dodgers there.
I wouldn't trust your instincts because I certainly didn't. I said to multiple people, I want to say the Braves, but again, I don't trust myself, so I'm going to go with you guy. I just won't bet on the Dodgers, and the Dodgers ended up winning last night. This first game, man, I'd have to say Tampa. I really I have to say Tampa, and I say that because, for a few reasons. Tyler the Thirst Trap Glasnow, arguably one of the most attractive men in baseball.
Who are the other candidates there? Ty Cobb.
What
I'm just
a
talking
looker.
personality.
What a
Walker
looker.
Buehler in those pants. Chef's kiss.
So this is a series made for you. There's something to cheer for on both sides.
Yes. No, but Tyler Glasnow, the Dodgers have better numbers against him than Tampa has against Kershaw. But Kershaw, the Dodgers have lost the last 3 World Series starts with Kershaw, so there's that.
Got to stick it, yeah.
There's that to consider. There's also the fact to consider that, he says that he's feeling 100%, but he's still, he had back spasms like 2 seconds ago, so.
Yeah, and back doesn't heal quickly. Like we talked about the ribs, the back's that's so much worse with that. And so in that game, if you were to back Tampa, there's good value on that. They're +145 to win the game. And then you could set yourself up for maybe backing the Dodgers game too. Do you think this will be a long series?
I think it'll go to 7 games, yes. Because, without jumping too far ahead, so Glasnow is starting the first game. Snell is starting the second game. My guess is that I want to say Charlie Morton will start the third game, and Charlie Morton is a monster out there. I have a feeling that the Dodgers will have a very hard time doing anything against him because he's just been lights out.
Yeah, Charlie looked good yesterday, too.
He whooped
Yeah.
up on the Astros.
Yeah.
Charlie freaking Morton.
And I know the Rays, they use their bullpen like prohibitively.
Their bullpen is amazing. I mean, the LA has good bullpen pieces, but some of them are being used as starters. Like Dustin May is being used as a starter. Gratterall is being. Gratterall is used pretty heavily. They don't have as many. The speed is in favor of Tampa. Pitch selection in favor of Tampa. Youth in favor of Tampa. They have a more consistent bullpen. They have more to work with.
Okay, so you could bet on the total number of games played. 7 games is plus 215. I don't think it's ever worthwhile to bet on the total number of games played. It's just like, it's too easy to take a bad loss. If you're right about your hypothesis, you could still lose in so many ways. But I will say the series spread, if you like Tampa, if you think it'll go 7, raise their plus 1.5. That way, if they win or it goes 7, the bet is yours. That's a nice outcome for anyone.
Yeah, and I think the Dodgers are gonna. You know what? I don't want to say that. That's disrespectful. Never mind.
You think the Dodgers are going to choke? You think they're going to act like
Well,
you think
I want to pay attention to history. And the thing is, Tampa is hungrier. They've only been there. This is their second World Series appearance. You've seen what they've done. They are the number 1 team in the AL, and the Dodgers are the number 1 team in the NL. So that's why I really like this World Series. Even though I'm not super vested in either team, I am vested in seeing Charlie Morton get his ring. Another one.
Yeah, but the last time the Rays went to the World Series, they went against a contender that always disappointed, that, it was kind of the end of the window for that team. And then Philadelphia, the Phillies, they got their ring.
Yeah.
Ryan Howard vindicated that insane contract he has.
It's like a mix-up for me. It's like a very mixed bag of emotions, because on the other hand, I would love to see Tampa win for multiple reasons.
But
part of it is petty. A lot of it is petty, I'll admit. But also, I want LA to win, so they'll finally shut up.
Yeah, and LA to win. You're an Astros fan. It's the best outcome for everybody if the Dodgers win this World Series.
So they'll stop whining.
Yeah,
Jesus, they are some of the most insufferable fans.
No, they'll just whine more. It's like, well, we won this one, but we didn't win it the way we wanted to.
But we did win. But
yeah, right.
Tampa was like,
they'll
find a way.
Right, so that's what's going to happen. So we don't want that to happen for sure.
And let's talk about, so this is all being played at the ballpark in Arlington.
Mimic Made Park.
Got him. If you take, in case you didn't get that, that's an inside joke if you're a Houston resident after the year of 2005.
Jeff Blum, thank you.
And how will the ballpark in Arlington, Mimic Made Park, affect this series?
Well, it really just depends on if the roof is open or not. If the roof is closed, they've during the regular season, and I can't really I didn't really pay attention to the series that was played there so far, but the visiting team has scored 10 plus runs.
Yeah, and we know
when
that
the roof is closed, and it looks like a giant Home Depot shed.
Ooh.
So I feel like that should have something to
Everyone
do with
loves a Home Depot.
Yeah, and it's a crazy
beautiful turf on the inside there.
It's an insane hitter's park. Like, this park is so friendly. It vindicated Josh Hamilton for a few years there. Turned him into an American hero. Just for a minute there. And I don't know, looking at this, and Blake Snell's probably going in game 2, right?
Yeah, he's definitely going in game 2. They've already set their first and second, so the first and second starters.
So, I'm reading your notes here. The Dodgers have 51 average against him, 62 on base percentage, 87 slugging, and a .149 OPS.
Super low. Yeah, that's just like over his career versus the Dodgers. So I don't know how that would play. I mean, because everything plays differently in the postseason. There's a different kind of energy, and anything can balance out. I'm pragmatic, so I like to be in favor of numbers and logic. But again, I'm also a baseball fan, so I want to say Snell takes it in game 2, but also the Dodgers haven't set their game 2 starter, and they have Kershaw going for the second one, but they haven't said one way or the other if Buehler is starting. The other possible ones would be Dustin May, which is not likely, or they might do like a bullpen. Sorry, they might do like a bullpen game. It's hard to say one way or the other, but why don't I just give this one to LA? We'll give game 2 to LA.
Even though I feel like the matchup favors LA more in game 1 than game 2.
But when Kershaw started in the last time he started in the NLCS, all of the numbers favored him, and he screwed himself over in a big way.
Yeah, but it also feels like he's very loaded to that team. If anyone else makes a mistake, it's fine. They're resilient. They come back. When I saw Kershaw make a mistake in that series, the whole team just crumbled. It's kind of
imploded. Yeah.
He is James Harden of baseball.
Oh, she's so bad.
I don't know if I've ever been disrespected like that to my fans.
I mean, it's true though. Like, who else? Amazing regular season track record. And then you get to the playoffs, there's some bad luck, there's a little bit of disappointment, but every year it's just some weird things happen. It's true. I mean, you could be disappointed, but I'm correct in this instance. Like, when Kershaw messed up, like, the whole team was affected by it.
Yeah, it started just toppling down because was that the game that they got blown out?
Yeah, like it was tight through like the first 4 innings. Kershaw gave up the lead. They took him out, and then they gave up 4 more runs. The game was over in the top of the 5th.
Yeah.
And they battled back. They made it 7-8, but like for all intents and purposes,
It's over.
yeah. And like the Dodgers, like when those big bats are coming, they're a good squad. Like yesterday, like I lost that bet because they don't know how to have any base running.
Yeah.
Oh, Atlanta? Yeah, it's like their coach said, do whatever you want. Pretend like the rules don't matter when it comes to running the bases.
Yeah, but the Dodgers, they also had that stupid, like, play at the plate that they could have just, if they hung back, they could have had runners at first and third with 1 out. Instead, you have a runner at first with 2 outs. Not ideal.
Hey, if you're first, you're last, right? That's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're first, you're last. And also, like, to back Tampa Bay in this instance, like, you like Tampa Bay.
I mean, yeah, I like Tampa Bay. I have reasons to favor both teams.
But we also saw that the Dodgers, they came back from a deficit, and they had to use their bullpen a lot during that span. They had to use their starters in some weird ways during Game 7.
Oh, so you think they're on E? They're running on empty a little bit?
I mean, to your point, I agree with you that the Dodgers had to, like, their bullpen is more taxed than Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay's bullpen works more efficiently.
Yeah, and like they're very, managerial. There's very much a logic with how these guys are utilized in situations. It's a sort of like status that ruined the pace of the game for a few years there. But like,
Oh yeah, the 3-batter minimum. I think the 3-batter minimum was implemented for. I want to blame it all on Brad Osmus because there was one game. Yeah, fuck that guy. I do not mind saying that. I will disrespect the heck out of him.
I heard he's one of the nicest guys in sports. I did.
He acted like a giant baby last season. God, they were losing that game anyway, and there's no way the Angels were going to win that game. And he used like 13 pitchers, and it was at one point he was switching them from like pitch to pitch. So he was switching pitchers in the middle of like a batter's count. Like it's fuck Brad Osmus to wrap that up.
All right, case in point. But like, why shouldn't I bet Tampa right now? The odds are in their favor. And if you think they're going to lose, if you think they're going to win Game 1, this is the best value I'll get off Tampa Bay. I know you're telling me take the series game by game, but if you think Tampa's the better team, if you think they have better pitching and better youth, and every sabermetric loves the Rays here, why aren't they favored?
Because they don't have. I mean, it's one thing to play in the postseason, and they have made some postseason appearances, but it's another thing, I think, to play. It's a different type of energy to play in the World Series. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them are not battle tested. Again, kind of young. And even though you can be as great as you want, but younger players are always just, in my opinion, a little more excitable.
But aren't they insulated from this? There's some fans at the game, but it's not like a typical World Series atmosphere where it's like a festival of sport.
Well, I think capacity is at like 12,000 or like slightly under, and granted, after both of the teams were set for the World Series, the price did drop a lot, because it was like a game one ticket was valued at $324. Then once both teams were set, once they found out that Tampa was playing, the price dropped to like $109 a ticket.
All right, so if
they're a small market team, America does not respect them. They do not get the respect they deserve.
And even if you are a Tampa fan, like it's kind of getting lost in the shuffle. You want a Stanley Cup, you have a team that could win the Super Bowl, so it's just like, how is Tampa the city of champions
all of a sudden?
Even when they won the ALCS, what headline is everyone talking about? No one's talking about Tampa.
No one's talking about
Tampa. Which is disrespectful, in my opinion, extremely disrespectful. Everyone's talking about, America won because the Astros lost. No, y'all still lost.
Right. Yeah, you don't see. That's the problem with. I don't know if it's MLB or just what the fans are thinking about now. Because we should see Tampa Bay fans just going irate. But I'm not seeing that too much.
It's the narrative driven by the national sports media, and I will go on record against anybody out there.
No good.
Jeff Passan.
Yeah, we're here to correct it.
John Heyman.
We're a national media outlet. We're pro Astros reasonably. At least one of us is reasonably pro Astros.
I'm reasonable. I am. I am reasonable. The thing is, I like numbers, I like logic, I like fact. And even though I am a diehard Astros fan, I will listen to reason, I will listen to fact, and I will concede on some long-held beliefs because they go against the actual facts.
Because if you are a diehard baseball fan, aren't the Rays the sort of team that just appeal to like a traditional fan?
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's I feel like they're like the Dodgers are like the hot girl you'll see on the weekends but never take home, but like the Rays are like the girl you would take home to mom.
Yeah, the girl you want to marry because she's so good at hitting foul balls.
Yes.
They foul off so much. They make those at bats go.
Wait, is
so
that
long.
not the number one? Like,
that's
not the number one attribute. Have I been dating wrong?
You've been dating. You were dating correct. No, that's consistency, right? That's consistency. So you take that home to mama. That's what you need.
So let's talk about props for this World Series. Maybe World Series MVP. Prohibitive favorite, Mookie Betts. Next favorite, Tyler Glasnow. Mookie's plus 800, by the way. Tyler's plus 900. Randy Arozarena is plus 10-1. Kershaw's 10-1. Bellinger, do not bet Bellinger. 12-1. He's got an MVP. He's famous. He's memed. He's not winning MVP with an injured shoulder.
No, you don't win something like
Cody Bellinger as a meme, that's about as good as it can get.
Is there a guy who was more likely to get injured celebrating than Cody Bellinger?
that. Not with a name with Cody. No,
I'm
that's
trying to
it.
think out of the team. No, him.
Just him.
Because nobody in Tampa, granted, it's a Florida team, so
Yeah. I wonder if anyone else has got hurt by doing that little celebration shoulder thing.
Well, it was like they jumped up and it was like a high five, and I think it was Kike Hernandez and him. And Kike like threw his whole body into it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I understand. I've had a celebration derail the best Lions team in my lifetime. 2014.
Yeah.
We had Stephen Tulloch, our second best defender, celebrated a sack against Aaron Rodgers, tore his ACL. Who won that game against Dallas in the postseason? The tight end Tulloch would have been covering. Jason Witten made a grab, ended it for us, all because of a celebration. But I digress. Back to these MVP odds. Charlie Morton, your boy, 15-1. So what's the smart money on for MVP? Where would you put down? Give me a pick for each side.
For each side. I would pick for Tampa, I would pick either I would say Charlie Morton or Rosarena. He won it in the ALCS, and it is not unheard of for the same player to win both. Now, if you want me to pick somebody besides Arozarena, I would not have an answer for you.
I mean, you did pick 2.
Yeah.
But anyone on the Dodgers side you think could maybe come out, have a great series?
Well, what's that kid's name? It's Julio Urias. Am I saying that right?
Urias is actually 60 to
Urias.
1.
Urias, like he's lights out. He might be my favorite one on there. Like out of their pitching, everything. I mean, he might be my favorite on their roster because he is deadly.
Yeah, and if I'm going to go like a Dodgers MVP pick, I'm going long shots. I was thinking Urias at 60 to 1, or like maybe a guy who's battle tested, who means so much to that fan base. Justin Turner is 25 to 1.
Oh yeah, Justin Turner. I really appreciated his turn in Game of Thrones.
Excellent wordplay there. A better beard than anyone dating Aaron Rodgers. So yes, I kind of like Turner there because like, who wins the MVPs in these things? They're the people who are reliable. They're not really stressed out by the situation. Who has more reps than Turner? And like, he's so well positioned in that order.
I mean, that's true. Like like back in like 2018, I didn't really think he would take it, but Steve Pearce, he ended up taking the World Series MVP in 2018, and like George Springer, he took it in 2017. Like it's always their guy who may not be like the flashiest or like the face of, but he's still a very popular, well-known player. So I would probably agree with Justin Turner.
Yeah, and I do think there's a lot of sucker bets just built into the World Series MVP. Like any pitcher that's like any starting pitcher, because, you know, if Urias is getting those reps and he swings 3 games, sure, I see that case. But like any starting pitcher, like you want the series, they not only do they have to win, the series needs to break a certain way. So, like, putting your money on Glasnow or Kershaw, like, the money's not great, and the variables are just so far in their favor. You'd be better off just, like, sprinkling it on these long shot guys. And, like, Choi, who was amazing in that series, who's, like, kind of become the face of Tampa in terms of social media. He's really fun to follow.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. Like, they've got a couple of really funny dudes on their team.
Yeah, like Choi's 35 to 1, and just in terms of star power, that dude's just electrifying.
Yeah, I'm marking him down for my bet.
Yeah, I mean, because it's sports writers who are like voting on this as well. Yeah. Charisma plays a factor, and like
huge.
charisma is just exuding from this guy like crazy.
Yeah, I'm totally in for that.
The locker room photo of him in the short shorts holding a bottle of champagne, beautiful.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. He knows it. He knows how to get the followers.
Oh, and it just killed me when they won the division series and they started playing New York. New York, and he was like dancing around, and then he kicked over the trash can and started stomping on the trash can. Like, I'm a Houston fan, but even that got me. And then when Randy Arozarena, he did his post game press conference after they won, the first thing you see is like he sticks his foot in the frame and it's just a cowboy boot.
Wow.
Like, I couldn't stop laughing.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, then they're loose. They're having fun, and that bodes well for them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bet the Dodgers. I'll be cheering for the Dodgers. I lived in L.A. for a bit.
They have more to lose and more to prove than Tampa does, so I feel like I like Tampa's mindset going into this.
Yeah, that's a good point. The Dodgers do have like a lot.
I mean, what is going to happen if Tampa loses? People are going to disrespect them the same amount.
Yeah.
They're still going to talk about how the Astros lost to them. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be like the same kind of thing with like the Nationals. I don't think got enough respect either because they right around the time I don't think Tampa really has anything to lose.
No.
What are they going to do? Like.
Yeah, and even if they do lose, you know, you can cheer yourself up by petting a manta ray. That's always fun.
A manta ray or petting Tom Brady. So like you're
exactly.
okay. There's a lot of things you can do.
Okay, so let's do an exercise. Okay. I'm giving you $100 to bet on this series, any amount you want. So I want you to slide that money back to me and tell me where I'm placing it. It can be series bets. It can be MVP.
You said I could give as much back.
Game 1, game 2. No, you're betting it. You gotta wager as much. It doesn't exist. You can keep it, but you know, I want you to plan my wagers for for Tuesday, for Wednesday, and for the series as a whole.
Okay. So my pick for game 1 would be Tampa, and for 2 reasons. Number 1 would be, like we said earlier, the Dodgers bullpen is taxed. The Tampa comes in fresher. They come in looking better. Tampa's offense is surprising, and they're kind of sneaky. You wouldn't think that they would fare well against the Dodgers, but they're going to go out there and they're going to take it. As far as my player props bet for game.
And can I ask one follow-up question to that one?
Yes.
Would that be Tampa spread plus 1.5 or Tampa money line?
Tampa money line.
Okay, so that's how much of that money are you putting out?
Wait, so this is money for Tuesday and Wednesday?
I'm placing the bet. I'm going to place a bet on my account.
So Tuesday and Wednesday, so we're going to use $50 for each day, so there's an even amount.
Okay.
So $25.
$25 on Tampa money line, and then in game 2, you got Snell going for Tampa. That'll probably make the Dodgers odds a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
So what are you saying for game 2?
I would say the Dodgers.
Okay.
Dodgers on the money line.
Tampa money line, Dodgers money line, and so you got $50 left. You can do it for the series. You can do it for the line of games, or you can do it for MVP. What do you have?
MVP.
Ooh.
For
Tampa.
And who would that be?
Can I name 2?
Yeah, you could split it up, 25 on each.
Ooh.
Charlie Morton.
I think that's a
15
lot.
to 1. That would be a payout of 25 to win $350. So that would be nice.
And who did we say earlier? And I was in complete agreement with you on that. Wasn't that
Was it Choi?
It was either Choi or Rosarena.
It was. I did mention Hunter Renfroe, but that's just because I saw him win a college football championship. Very, very much in favor of that. And it's weird. This Hunter Renfroe is not a bald athletic icon, which I consider myself to be.
That is correct.
I mean, absolutely. It's the first thing that comes to mind, honestly.
Oh, Brian, tangent. The documentary about the Big Walkowski's done.
That's cool. I'm down for that.
I cried. The documentary leads up to me crying. I came back from a big knee surgery. I won a pickup basketball tournament. I just thought about all the rehab, and I just bawled in front of people for like 15 minutes.
Honestly, it's just energy, legend energy.
Yeah, I think, can we put Joel as MVP?
I think so. Honestly, that's the safest bet you can make.
Yeah.
I've never won a Big Walkowski MVP.
Shame. That's a shame.
Okay, so we have a second MVP bet. I am inclined to go with Joy here, but I'll follow your advice.
Thank you.
Is it Choi?
Yeah, Choi.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you 1 minute before we go off the air. Anything we need to look for in the series that I haven't touched on that you think the bettors, the gamblers, they need to know?
I say the bettors and the gamblers, just keep in mind the injuries of recent to Kershaw and to Bueller.
Bellinger. So
Bellinger, I mean, but I would never, honestly, because of his face, I would never place money on him, regardless of how skilled he is. He always looks confused, like maybe he ate one too many brownies.
I mean, he's in LA. You got to be like that in LA. He's just appealing to the local fan base who probably is making the same facial expressions as he is. That's a face my dog makes when I rub her belly. And okay, but still, I mean, I know you didn't tell me this, but I do have the takeaway here that maybe the best bet is the Tampa game spread plus 1.5. Then you have their win, or if they lose it in 7, and the odds for that are only minus 112. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would your confidence in that wager be?
It would be a 7.
Okay.
So it's, slightly over 5, but
In your confidence for game 1, for indeed which is really just your shortened Kershaw, On a scale of 1 to 10, that is.
Yeah, I mean, I was super confident in Kershaw, but he messed me over, and I will not let him do that again. Also, keep in mind, that's another thing. Keep in mind that the Dodgers have lost their last 3 starts with him.
Ooh.
The last 3 World Series starts. Folks, pay attention to history. That's all I'm saying.
Pay attention to history. This is baseball. The best team is probably the Dodgers, but the best team doesn't always win. We've seen it play out many times, and it feels like this could be the Rays' year.
I think it is.
All right, so we like
LA, bridesmaid, never the bride.
yeah, LA. They're basically Katherine Heigl in 27 dresses at this point. So we're on Rays game 1, Dodgers game 2. We are on the Rays series line. Then for MVP, we are on Morton, Choi, and if Justin Turner from the Dodgers.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where our money is, and you're gonna have some content on the Props Network throughout the series, no?
Yes, I am. I will be coming to you daily.
Oh, so you're gonna give daily picks?
Not tomorrow, but I think starting every day after that.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So I will be following them around. I will be blindly following your picks and hoping they turn out well. And I've been doing that so far. And, it's been the most successful gambling of the past week for me.
You're welcome.
Michelle Need, everybody. Thank you for coming by. Thanks for being part of the Props Network.